right, and business and everything else. But at the end of the day, I still have tremendous amount of respect for the position of the man in a home. And I think it's extremely important that we continue to do what we're doing here and serve and share and spread the word with other people so that they can continue to come into these rooms, because we've helped quite a few men, even the young ones that come in with questions and they're a little lost. And if we can give them some guidance, or at least provide some support so they know that this is a safe place for them to come, ask their questions, be heard, be validated, and be understood, and support them in the long run. So thank you, Karen, for always showing up and doing such a great job with this room. And see, I don't know if I answered your question. You said you spoke something about a bar mitzvah and something about machismo and how do we tell boys to come into manhood at a certain age. That's something that you've got to start at a very young age. And look, we're under the attack here, from all places. You've got stuff that's being taught in preliminary elementary years at the public school system that is just putting a lot of this stuff at risk. And so I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I want to say that, just like the schools have an agenda of indoctrination and introducing subject matter at a very inappropriate young age, I think that this is where if we don't agree with it, we push back and we start teaching our children the value systems and the things that we want our children to learn, because our rights do not stop the minute we drop off our children at school. When they enter that classroom, your parental rights are not terminated. Your parental rights go with the child wherever the child goes. So teaching your child about tapping into their masculinity starts at home, and it starts by examples, and it starts by the women that are raising these boys. Hey, instead of bad talking the spouse, maybe you divorced a guy and you think he's an asshole and he might be a terrible father, but you don't want to tell that to your son. You don't want your son to see that. Your son will see it when he gets older and he's mature enough to handle and process that information. What you do is you tell him, look, and then as a woman, do you want your door open? Yes, then show your 5-year-old to open the door for you. Do you want there's certain things that you want to treat, that you want your son to learn, and you're going to have to do that as a single mom, and it's not easy. So I yield my mic with that because I could go on and on and on, but I face the same challenges as well as a single mom. I try really hard to make sure that my sons are definitely in touch with their masculine side, and not that hunting and shooting guns is masculine, but let me tell you something, it is so much fun. It is such a blast, and as a woman, I love doing it, so I know my sons love doing it too. Karen, back to you. See.
Thank you, Miss Edna, for being the champion. Like I said, I always want to give credit where credit is due, and the next thing we'll have to do, guys, is a marathon, a celebrating masculinity. I did a 12-hour September 11th event honoring the combat veterans, and it was so fun. It would be great to have a marathon. So let's see. So, what was your other question? And we have
Thank
Michael
you.
and David. So you might not be able to get all your questions answered. They're kind of deep.
No worries, no worries. And I'll send this olive leaf offer. I will do a PayPal for a interview on this topic if anyone you guys want to come to my audio interview thing. So because for me it's important to learn it from other demographics.
Yeah. I do podcast. This is my jam. Back channel me.
Okay, no worries. So my second one is um, in my culture, the suit and tie guys are hated. The suit and tie guys are made fun of. Um, my question then, and I understand people don't necessarily experience this, but my question is if the boys are dealing with a demographic that does not celebrate that type of trajectory. How would you suggest from your demographic that we kind of introduce it to ladies as a don't hate on it type of conversation? Let it happen organically if it's meant to happen. How do you think that we should introduce that type of thought process? It is a deep question, but I can accept surface level answers. It's all good.
Okay. See, can you ask the question directly? Because I can see just from the way you're positioning, you've been in a situation where you try to ask something. Ask it directly. You can ask it directly here.
Okay. A suit and tie guy. How do we get women to understand that a suit and tie guy is an option for these boys, and that we should not defame it or make fun of it?
Okay. See, do you want the answer to that question, or because I want to ask you, do you really want the answer to the question?
Yes, ma'am. Seriously, no cap.
Okay.
If you would like to contribute to Mr. Research, you can do that with the King of Classy Cash App. All donations are appreciated. Sometimes what happens in our black community, we want people to give us stuff for free, and then we don't appreciate it, and then we go about our way with free information, and we start sticking our chest out as if we had this level of the game all the time. Jewish people give back, Latino people give back, Portuguese people give back. The black community is the only one that really don't like giving back. Now, nobody's trying to shame you for it. If you want to donate, you can do that through the King of Classy app. But the reality is, our community is the only community that wants to be opportunist and take advantage of stuff for free. The game is to be sold, not to be told. Now, you've heard that pimp conversation in movies before. You've heard that street conversation on all type of records. The game is to be sold, not to be told. Because when you just freely tell people stuff, they tend not to appreciate it. And when people buy stuff, they tend to appreciate it more because you added value to it. So if you appreciate this level of the game, you can donate back. All donations do count, and all donations are appreciated. And if you feel like, you know what, you don't want to do that, then you can at least hit the like button. Hit the like button when you come in on the video, subscribe, and even if you don't like any of this, send it to your cousin, send it to your uncle, send this to your coworker, send it to somebody else outside of you. Maybe they can appreciate this level of the game. Much love. Now let's get back to the video.